All right. So for this one, we're going to be going over the individual sprint. So this will be me, Patrick Roraff. It's obviously sprint one for this semester, but we're labeling it from the previous semester carrying over. So it'll be sprint six in total. Sorry if I sound nasally. Getting over this cold. So if you can't understand me, I'm sorry. I'll kind of translate and make it easiest to understand me, or I could write this down and send it to you, Dr. Sanders. But just want to go over this. So, kind of my to dos. This is obviously all in detail of what I'm delegated. So, I've been delegated the SRS documentation. I've been working on it. Got a good draft going of everything. Kind of just as we go adding to it because it's due at the end of the semester. So, we don't want to kind of draw too much conclusions because we're not done yet. We are pretty far into this project, and I would say pretty soon we should be able to kind of present it. Yeah. And that's what we're hoping to do in this sprint is kind of show the privileges, show how they work. We have it on one console, which would be um, George's console, but we have admin rights to different consoles. So me and Jared will be relaying, mirroring each other to demonstrate the student privileges, kind of the view only, so that you could see what they have. And then we're also going to do Simeon to George, George to Jared to kind of delegate the privileges out. So you can see three different consoles having different privileges. Um, but overall, the admin is on one console, which we wanted to do because it works best as RustDesk to have it implemented that way. As you can see right here with our licensing, this is our code. This is our machine. We obviously have one, which would be right now, it would be under George's, which we are hoping to transfer over to the chemical engineering lab, and we would have it on that, which would only make sense. That would only be one. We have max users 5, max peers 50. So what that means is max of people that could use it right now would be 5. Max peers, people who could be viewing it, would be 50. We figured that was a good number because overall, looking at and discussing it with Dr. Zhao, the people who are really going to be working on it, you don't want more than 5 people at a time working on it. But 50 people to view it, that should be plenty enough for that. Because it's not a really big program. It's a great program, and I wish there was more students, but unfortunately, there's not that many students in it because of how rigorous and because of whatever it may be. So 50 users would be plenty. And kind of other tasks that are delegated to me is implement user permissions for students. So we've got that figured out, and we will be presenting that. So the username, I'll show you on it. Obviously, we would have the networkings all set up. So this would be ID server for that, that you would connect to the console, and we have it all set up so we could display it, show it. Security, we have screen sharing, full access, custom access, all the permissions. So custom is what we're enabling for this parameter specifically, which would be the student, which I was delegated. We wanted to delegate each person one privilege, to kind of make it easier to show and demonstrate and also delegate tasks out. So mine was kind of the student view and doing that. So that's why it's custom there. General, they just have generals. But yeah, it's just super simple. We have it connected to the remote desktop. Log in. I don't need that. And as you can see, I'm connecting to Jared's right now. He would be on the other side, so he'd have to accept that. But as you can see, connecting, and from his side, he would accept, and then it would be able to show the student view, which is privileges. I should list out the privileges. So custom enable keyboard mouse, enable clipboard, enable file transfer, nope. Enable audio, enable TCP tunneling, enable remote restart, nope. And enable recording session. And then enable remote configuration modifications. So it's kind of what was discussed with Dr. Zhao too in our meeting was kind of what parameters, and kind of these are generic. And obviously, if you wanted to change, you could just click, which makes it super easy for Dr. Zhao to go in here and just be like, hey, no, I don't want that actually, and change it. And then all it would do is just simply the network, the ID server that's on, it would change. So it is a simple concept. It is user friendly, and I'm honestly amazed at how well it works. It took us a little while to find kind of how to implement it on George's computer, but we want to obviously figure out the kinks, and we did, so that we could relate to Dr. Zhao's concise and as easy as possible so that she could do it on her own and we won't have to be there helping her. The licensing was a big part of this, and this is kind of like what you're going to see from George's is he has a console view. So obviously you can see like the logs, the users, the groups. He controls all this. So, and that would ultimately be Dr. Zhao would have the console basically on her computer. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And we had prepared a meeting. We already met with Dr. Zhao, so I would switch that over to done. SSL server implementation done. SRS obviously doing. Implement user permissions for students done. So all those have been done. Now it's just onto the SRS, and then we kind of want to overall as a team switch to another task. But overall for this sprint, the tasks have been done. I put on a Docker, and you can obviously see the server, which is RustDesk, the relay server. So this is installed. This is something we're going to need to install onto the chemical engineering lab. But it's really not that bad once you get into it, and pretty user friendly. Here's the code for all of this. So we go in here. It's obviously built in Python. So you can see all the code for this platform, which is RustDesk. In addition to that, you could see the pro version, which I was showing you that would be on George's, that we would implement this code onto basically that platform. And kind of got in the student view in those parameters kind of, it was really about kind of delegating what Dr. Zhao wanted for us to have the students be able to do and see. So the meeting was crucial in that, and also being able to put that on the console, which we did, and also putting it on my machine and then relaying it between the two machines and creating a mirror. Also, I have been working on, there is an app for this already, and I've been working on using it, but I don't really care for it. I think it could be better. So I started work on my own application actually for this little side project I had because I just been interested in web development, application development lately. And in my free time, I was like, I'm just going to take this project on. So yeah, I've started to do that. I should have a prototype hopefully by the end of the semester. I really just want to present something super user friendly and super easy because Dr. Zhao, I want to kind of make it nice for her and easy and simple. The only problem is I'm gonna have to connect to this server, so I may need to create another server to relay it. But I'm in the process of doing this also. It's just a little side project, so we'll see how it goes. And then, but overall, that wasn't part of kind of what Dr. Zhao wanted for us at the end of this semester. But I thought it'd be neat just to kind of throw it in there if I can. But overall, for Dr. Zhao, we're doing what she wanted, and we will be working on showing her through Matlab and demonstrating it through Matlab before we implement it onto the actual chemical engineering station, because she wants to see it kind of from that angle. And yeah, so it's easy because you just have an ID, you put it on here, it relays, mirrors it. It's gonna be really easy when we only have it on the remote desktop because it'll be one console. It won't be we're relaying it from me to Jared, Jared to George, George to Simeon. It'll just be the students, Dr. Zhao, all going to the chemical engineering lab workstation. So that would be kind of nice. Some of the crucial points that we accomplished throughout this sprint, and not just we, but I kind of coordinated the meeting with Dr. Zhao on the 23rd. We just recapped discussion points, made decisions, kind of just figured out where she wanted to go throughout this semester and what she wants to see as end product. I kind of discussed with Jared, meeting with you being Dr. Sanders and conducting like what he should tell you, what kind of like we're trying to do, because at that point I got sick. And then RustDesk research and preparation. I've done a lot of just research, a lot of reading on blogs, reading on just user interface, and reading on the website, kind of doing that. And I've also sent emails back and forth with a couple of the people who work for RustDesk, which has been a neat process and honestly kind of built me some marketing and connections. So I'm really excited about. They're really nice people and really knowledgeable. And then testing different user privileges is something that I kind of have been working on very, very much so in this sprint. And then developing evaluation parameters. Have been working on that. And then visual demonstration. We obviously have been doing that, preparing for this presentation as a group, but also I've been doing that as preparing for this one. Overall, just wanted to show you kind of the functionality, wanted to show you kind of like how we've been trying to add parameters, add things to the permissions, and then what we want to kind of go from here and get it working. So that's where I am at currently, and I've gotten all these done so far, and I just appreciate everything, Dr. Sanders. Thank you. It's been a learning process, and honestly, look forward to showing you this product and kind of getting it implemented and hopefully helping Dr. Zhao and ultimately making a platform that will help and can be used going forward. So God bless. Thank you, Dr. Sanders. Appreciate everything.